Okay, so hi everyone, good afternoon. So for this afternoon, we are going to discuss kung unsay epilepsy. So first, we need to define what is epilepsy. The causes, risk factors, sign and symptoms, diagnosis, treatment and management, and lastly, caregiver intervention. So, unsa di ay ng epilepsy? So, when we say epilepsy, it is a chronic neurological disorder characterized by a recurrent, unprovoked seizures. So, dilian na musod ang seizures, no? So, when we say seizures are sudden, brief changes in the brain's electrical activity, which can lead to various symptoms such as temporary confusion, loss of consciousness, or convulsion. So, epilepsy is not just a single condition but rather a spectrum of disorders characterized by abnormal electrical activity in the brain. So if someone is having an epilepsy, it will not attack just once but many times. So seizures can vary widely in a severity and presentation, affecting individuals differently. Understanding epilepsy as a neurological disorder helps clarify the need for specialized medical management and support. Okay, so usay mga causes of epilepsy. So, mauna siya. So, first we have the genetic factors. So, when we say genetic, it means inherited genetic mutations may predispose individuals to epilepsy. So, halimbawa, if your mother having an epilepsy, there's really a high probability na ikaw po niya as anak, magkaroon po ka ng epilepsy. So, kana siya, genetic factors. And second, we have brain injury. So, injuries means traumatic brain injuries from accidents or fall can disrupt normal brain function. So, halimbawa sa inyong family, kana bang, wala mo family nga related na epilepsy. However, um, while as you grow up, no, there's a sudden, there's sudden accident that can lead your brain to be affected. Kana siya, makakos mo na siya o kanang epilepsy. So, halimbawa, no, if imuhang ulo na bagok sa semento or any hard na mga butang that can really distract your brain's activity, kana siya mo unay one of the factor nga maka-cause of epilepsy. Yeah, that's the reason why we really need to be careful with our actions. And third, we have the brain tumor. So, brain tumors, abnormal growth in the brain, can interfere with neural activity. So, if someone na ay brain tumors, no, iba ka ng brain tumors, ay mauman ng murang na ay hubag nga sa brain, no, if kana siya nga tumor, no, if dili siya maagapan as soon as possible, there's really a tendency, no, there's really a high probability na it can cause epilepsy. Kana siya mo nang if makabantay mo, if kanang naay mga someone nga naay mga brain tumors, the doctors really advise to have a operation to them para po niya dili makakos og dili siya makakos og other mga sakit bitaw, just like epilepsy. Okay, so also we have strokes. So strokes means interruptions in the blood flow to the brain that can lead to seizures. So understandable naman kung isa ng meaning sa stroke, right? I know that every one of you here is familiar or know what is the meaning of this one. And also we have the developmental disorder. So these conditions such as autism spectrum disorder or cerebral palsy may be associated with epilepsy. Kani siya. cerebral palsy, mura ni siyang kumbaga ingon pa ni Miss, ingon pa sa the continuation, we have a developmental disorders. So, these causes or conditions such as autism spectrum disorder or cerebral palsy may be associated with epilepsy. Now, as you guys remember, no, as per discussion ni Miss Lynn, when we say cerebral palsy, inborn din siya. No, sa pagpanganak pa lang daan sa usa ka bata, naana siya cerebral palsy. And also, lastly, we have idiopathic epilepsy. In many cases, the exact cause remains unknown, indicating complex interactions between genetic and environmental factors. So, aside from what I mentioned earlier, there are unknown causes pa or if why a person is having an epilepsy. Well, maybe undergoing pa ng mga cases, but for now, mao dili ang mga common no hinungdan nga no usa ka tawo na ay epilepsy. Genetic factors, brain injuries, brain tumors, strokes, developmental disorders kana sila. So, in overall, no, understanding the diverse causes of epilepsy highlights the complexity of the condition. Each cause may require different approaches to treatment and management. Yes, exactly. There are a different approach in every causes of epilepsy. And emphasizing the importance of personalized care for individuals with epilepsy. So, lahi man yun yung approach no, in terms of treatment. Kung usa man dyan ang causes sa epilepsy sa usa ka tawo. Halimbawa, if usa ka tawo na ay brain tumor, so di ba, as I said earlier, if someone having a brain tumor need ba yun siya operation para dili mo dako. Then, and also we have the brain injuries, no? Ang brain injuries ay dili man na siya sama sa tumor nga na ay ning tubo nga hubag sa imuhang brain. But the brain injuries is caused by an accident that if dili siya maagapan, it will really affect the activity of the brain. Kamo hinuoy makakoses ng epilepsy. Mauna nga, way of treatment when ani if someone is having a brain injuries is dapat ipatanaw sa siya muna kung say mga angay or further instruction na buhaton para ang brain is to act normally. Pana siya. Okay, so next we have risk factors. So, family history of epilepsy, genetic predisposition increases the likelihood of developing the condition. So as I said earlier, no, one of the factors of the epilepsy is a genetic factor. So kano siya, family history. So we really need to know if one of our family, no, labi na sa mga kalula-lulahan man or kalululuhan, if one of them is had a epilepsy condition. For us to be aware and also to have a preventive measures daan kung sing angay buhaton. Kano siya. And second, we have the head injury. So, a previous traumatic brain injuries elevate the risk of epilepsy. Kano siya. It can really cause epilepsy if dili siya maagapan as soon as possible, especially if you are having an injury in your head. No, kay baw na pa nga sa tuang head, one of the body parts yun yung maapektuhan is our brain. So second, third we have the brain infection. So infection such as meningitis or encephalitis can damage brain tissue and trigger seizure. So brain infection or kanang mga kagaw sa tuang brain, kana siya, it can also trigger nga maka-cause of epilepsy, nga mo hinungdan niya, maka-seizures ang usa ka tawo. We need to be also aware of this kind of. So we have the vascular diseases. Conditions like hypertension or arteriosclerosis increase the risk of stroke-related seizures. So, as you remember, no, one of the causes is stroke. So, kani siya, if someone is having a vascular disease, kani, makalid yun siya, o, mao din siya ang murang risk factors, no? Nga, kanabi na if someone is na ay hypertension. And also, we have dementia. No, when we say dementia is kanang makalimot ang usa ka tawo. So, degenerative brain diseases may lead to abnormal electrical activity. So, from the word dementia, I know every one of you here is familiar with the word dementia. So, it means that usa ka tawo makalimponon. So, it means, no, from that, no, from that meaning panangdaan, that is not really a normal, function of a brain. Okay, so it would really consider an abnormality of our brain. So lastly, we have age. So both very young children and older adults are at higher risk due to developmental or age-related factors. So having an epilepsy is not just for para sa mga older adults, but also it could affect young children, no? Both young children and older adults. So, regardless of what age you are, there's really a tendency na pwede ka magkaroon ng epilepsy. Okay, so identifying risk factors helps healthcare, we as a caregiver, no? Providers assess an individual's likelihood of developing epilepsy and implement preventive measures where possible. It is also underscores the importance of early intervention and monitoring in high-risk population. So, muna kung diingon na nga, no, it is really important for us to know na binasat ang family history if one of our family kung one of our family is na-aba epilepsy. Right? If ever man yan, no? If ever man yan suddenly, no, may kalit na ang naatay epilepsy, unya, at least ba, ma-diagnose na, mo the reason why I am having an epilepsy or I had an epilepsy because one of my, family is also had an epilepsy. So, remember, one of the causes is genetic factors. Okay, so next we have sign and symptoms. So, usa may mga sign and symptoms if a person is having an epilepsy or na ay epilepsy. Again, ang una na ito discuss, define na ang meaning sa epilepsy. Ikaduha ang causes sa epilepsy. Ikatulo ang risk factors. And lastly, we have the sign and symptoms. So, sign of symptoms of epilepsy is first we have the temporary confusion. So individuals may experience disorientation or cognitive difficulties during or after seizure. So when we say temporary confusion, mura kang makonfuse ka kadali sa imuhang mind. Mura from that word itself na anay abnormality. Okay, so second we have the uncontrollable jerking movement. So meaning, convulsive seizures often involve rhythmic jerking of the limbs. So, halimbawa ako ang hand, halimbawa lang akong kamot. So when we say jerking movement, kanang mo just shake imong hand, despite you controlling to stop, you can't control your hand. Kasi di siyang shake. Muna ang ginatawag na nga convulsive seizure. Sama na yun anang mahinantan ang kanang high fever. Diba? Kanang mo convulsion na kana siya one of the symptoms na siya. And also we have the loss of consciousness. Some seizures lead to a complete loss of awareness or responsiveness. Kanang mahimatay. Kunya wala na conscious sa kataw. And also we have the psychic symptoms or aura. Preceding some seizures, individuals may perceive unusual sensations or feelings such as deja vu or fear. No, psychic symptoms or aura. Kana siya ang imuhang murang kanang feelings nimo may perceive unusual sensations or feeling. So, maka-notice na kang mga unusual feelings niya, makaingon kang murag nagbalik naman no? When you say deja vu, murag that event is murag nahitabo na, ano siya, or maka-feel ka sudden fear or sudden nga kahadlok, ano siya. And also, we have one of the symptoms is we have the sensory symptoms. So, tingling or numbness in a specific body parts may occur during seizure. So, kanang one of the best example that I would consider is our body or even our hand. May kanang ana na bitaw mo dili na siya mo balik, magnamb na siya, kana siya. If you are if ang usa ka person is naka-seizure na siya, one of the symptoms na mainhan mo kay pag when you say numb, magdahi. So, nang ana yung kamot, nagdahi na siya. Dili na siya matulid nga normal niya kanang ma-move siya normally. No, magdahi na siya. Also, one of the body parts as well, aside from the hand, is your body. Ang imuhang body is nagdahi na siya, dili na siya mang mulihok. Even your mouth, even your mouth, na murang muhiwi na siya, unya murang muhiwi na siya, unya dili na siya mabalik. Muna ang one of the reason niya advised by a medical professional na bawal jud magbutang og any objects from the mouth of a patient if a patient is having epilepsy or seizures. There's no any proven testimony or proven medical kanang test nga makatabang na siya if someone is having epilepsy. So again, it's a very no-no if someone having epilepsy unya magbutang ka og something object sa mouth sa usa ka person. That's a very no-no, okay? So, second to the last, we have staring spear. So, absent seizures manifest as brief episodes of vacant staring. And lastly, we have the automatic movement. So, seizures may involve repetitive actions like, one second. So, seizures may involve repetitive actions like lip smacking or showing. Automatic movements. O, kanina, mura suddenly naaray automatic movements ang lip sa usa ka tawo or mura siyang just show without you doing it. So, when you say automatic, kusa na siya nga ning move ang lip sa usa ka tawo or mura siyang just show. Kana one of the symptoms ko na siya sa if one of the symptoms if a person is makakaroon na ng epilepsy. So, recognizing the diverse array of signs and symptoms associated with epilepsy is crucial for accurate diagnosis and appropriate treatment. It allows healthcare providers to tailor interventions to address the specific needs and experiences of individuals with epilepsy. So, we really need to know and to be specific kung usay mga sign and symptoms sa usa ka tawo situation. So, we really need to know the sign and symptoms of a person if he or she is having epilepsy. And kailangan na maging specific for us to diagnose correctly kung usay angay nga treatment ang ihatag nato. No, especially if kanang atuan nang i-adto sa ospital ang patient, no, we really need to be specific to inform the healthcare or the doctor or the nurses na mauni ang sign and symptoms niya before he or she having an epilepsy or a seizures. And then next we have the diagnosis. So, usay angay buhaton. So, first, we have the medical history and physical examination. So, healthcare providers evaluate symptoms and medical history to assess the likelihood of epilepsy. So, it means, kinahanglan yun na ay medical record usa ka healthcare for them to know kung asa yun ka ng epilepsy sa usa ka tao. Maybe because the reason why he or she having epilepsy tungod kay genetic na siya. Or maybe, tungod kay na siya brain tumors. Or maybe, na siya brain injuries. That's the reason why that patient is having epilepsy. No? And second, we have the electroencephalogram. EEG or electroencephalogram. So this non-invasive test measures electrical activity in the brain, helping to detect abnormal patterns associated with epilepsy. So, when usay pasabot ang EEG, mura siyang as you can see in my PowerPoint here, kana murang naay ipabutang nga mga electric sa imuhang head para mabasa niya ang brain activity sa usa ka person. Kana siya, it can help also to detect the usay pattern or usay movement sa brain sa usa ka tao. Kana siya. And also we have MRI or CT scan. No, I know that you guys are familiar with this one. It means that imaging studies provide detailed images of the brain, allowing healthcare providers to identify structural abnormalities or lesions. And lastly, we have the blood test. No, so laboratory tests can help identify underlying conditions such as infections or metabolic disorders that may contribute to seizures. So, blood test, one of the risk factors nga ato ang mahatag ani nga example kay if imuha man yung i-blood test ang usa ka patient, no, unya ma-found out na nga naani siya brain infection due to meningitis, niya o hinungdan niya naka-epilepsy siya. I remember one of the risk factors is having a brain infection. So brain infection mounang naay mga meningitis ang usa ka person. So meningitis is muuman ng mga kagaw, right? So by having a blood test, they can identify that. So diagnostic tests play a crucial role in confirming epilepsy, absolutely, and determining its underlying causes. Early and accurate diagnosis enables healthcare providers to initiate appropriate treatment and management strategies, improving outcomes and quality of life for individuals with epilepsy. So it is really important, no, nga kana bang nga there's a confirmation, no, there's an confirmation kung asa gyud nang gikan ang epilepsy sa usa ka tawo. Mo na hinungdan niya, mo na yung one of the reason why there is a diagnosis before mag-proceed sa treatment sa usa ka patient nga naay epilepsy. Kay para makahibalo kung usay angay nga medical or kana bang appropriate approach nga treatment ang ihatag sa usa ka tawo. No? So, sa usa ka tawo na ay epilepsy. And and also we have treatment. Kung usa may mga angay nga kanang ihatag the treatment sa usa ka healthcare providers if ang ilahang patient is na ay epilepsy. So first we have the treatment. So usa may mga treatment nga ihatag na ihatag sa mga healthcare professionals sa usa ka patient nga na ay epilepsy. So first we have the anti-epileptic drugs or AED. So these medications help prevent seizures by stabilizing electrical activity in the brain. So having these drugs, no, having this medication, makatabang niya siya para ma-stabilize ang brain activity sa usa ka person that's having a seizures. So second, we have the ketogenic diet. So this kind of treatment, this high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet may be effective in reducing seizures, so particularly in children with a certain types of epilepsy. So it is really important as well to know what is a low-carbohydrate diet. kay it may be effective, no, may be effective in reducing seizures na bila sa mga bata nga na ay epilepsy. And also, we have the neuromodulation therapy. So, this kind of treatment techniques such as a vagus nerve stimulations or VNS or responsive neurostimulation or RNS deliver electrical impulses to the brain to regulate abnormal activity. So by having this therapy, this will help to make our brain work normally, no? Makaregulate normally. So lastly, we have the surgical removal. So one of the treatment is surgical removal. So in cases of severe, kung lala na yun ang epilepsy sa usak patient, medication-resistant epilepsy, surgical procedures may be performed to remove the part of the brain responsible for seizures. So again, surgical removal is also one of the treatment. However, nakadepende din siya sa cases. So severe na yun ang cases sa usa ka pasyente, and it's also highly recommended by a doctor na kanang angay di siya i-surgical or i-surgery, then go for it. Kana siya, kay para ma-remove ang katong the reason why the brain is having abnormality na mo hinoy maka-cause of seizures sa usa ka patient. So, treatment for epilepsy aims to control seizures. So, having this treatment, no, the reason why naani nga mga treatment kay para ma-prevent ang kanang someone to have a seizures. So, minimize side effects and improve overall quality of life. So, at the end of the day, the purpose why they are having this kind of treatment is to provide a quality of life to a patient. And a multimodal approach may be necessary, tailored to the individual's specific type of epilepsy, medical history, and treatment response. So, management. So, what are the things that we must need to do? So, if a patient is having an epilepsy, if ever madali po, no, we as caregivers, maka-encounter ita or maka-patient ita o patient na epilepsy, these are the things that we need to do. So, first, we need to regular follow-up. So, ongoing monitoring and adjustment to treatment plans are essential for optimal seizure control and overall health. So, regular follow-up. So, it doesn't mean nga kung niadto na ka once sa doctor, that's enough. No, you really need to have a regular follow-ups to your doctor, no, and to make sure that your overall health is and your brain is normally functioning. So, second, we have adherence to medication regimen. So, consistent use of prescribed medication is critical for preventing seizures and minimizing arrest associated with epilepsy. So, what do you mean by this one? So, by the word adherence, so, we have the adherence to medication regimen. So, meaning, consistent use of prescribed medications is critical for preventing seizures and minimizing risk associated with epilepsy. So, what do you mean by this one? It means that if a patient is having an epilepsy, unya naanay provide niya appropriate medicine or treatment to that person, they really need to be kanabaw consistent to take that medication accordingly. Adherent. So, if the doctor's advice niya, hinahanglan nila i-take ang kaninga tambal at exactly 8 a.m. in the morning. So, the patient or you as a caregiver must be responsible to kanabang i-remind ang patient niya. The patient must need to take the medicine at exactly 8 a.m. No? And same goes. So, if every 3 hours niya i-take ang tambal, then you really need to be consistent, no? Dili kayo magbuot mo sa oras sa time kung when mo i-take ang tambal. Kay if there is really a high probability nga kung dili nimo i-follow ang giingon sa doctor, the medication is useless, the treatment is useless. There is really a tendency nga mo epilepsy na suddenly ang usa ka patient nimo. Nya ma-wonder na ko nga nganong may epilepsy man nganong man nga mag-epilepsy adya ng imong patient nga nang inom man mo ng ambal, then you need to start questioning yourself if you as a caregiver, ni-follow ba nimo ang instructions sa doctors or wala. Ano siya? And then, we have the lifestyle modification. So, lifestyle modification is a strategy such as maintaining adequate sleep, managing stress, and avoiding seizures triggers that can help reduce seizures frequency and severity. So, from the word lifestyle modification, kinahanglan na ay enough nga tulog. No? When you say adequate enough, na ay enough sleep, no? Kinahanglan i-avoid sa stress ang usa ka patient nga naay epilepsy kay aron dili ma-trigger ang iyahang brain function kana siya. And then we have also the safety precautions. So creating a safe environment and educating the family members and caregivers on seizures, first aid protocols are very, very essential for minimizing injury risk during seizures. If halimbawa, no, if you as a caregiver aware ka nga imong patient na epilepsy, kailangan you need to take an initiative nga ang sa room sa patient walay any hard object nga if ever man yan mo occur in a seizure, walay any hard object nga mao hinuoy makakause ang additional nga kanang injury, no, sa iyang physical if ever matumba siya. Kana siya. And also, the family members must be aware the basic first aid information about the patient's condition. Kay para po niya kana bang to have a safe environment for the patient. No? And also, we have the seizure diary. So, seizure diary is keeping track of a seizure frequency, triggers, and response to treatment, can provide a valuable insights for healthcare providers and individuals with epilepsy. So, it means that it is really important as a caregiver to take down note everything that happens to a patient. Halimbawa, kaninga oras na take og medicine ng ibang patient. And then, maybe like 12 a.m. in the midnight, na tingala na kakagad na seizures imuhang patient. So, you really need to take down notes of that one, especially the sign and symptoms before to naitabo seizure. You really need to document for that one. Kaya para, if mauspitan ang imuhang pasyente, no, if the doctors or the professional healthcare will ask kung usay naitabo, you have a solid and correct evidence nga imuhang maisulti or imuhang ma-provide sa doctor sa patient para siya. So, meaning, effective management of epilepsy requires a comprehensive approach that addresses medical, psychological, and lifestyle factors by actively participating in their care and implementing appropriate. So, effective management of epilepsy requires a comprehensive approach that addresses medical, psychological, and lifestyle factors by actively participating in their care and implementing appropriate strategies. Individuals with epilepsy can optimize their health and well-being. So again, it really required a comprehensive approach. So as you are a caregiver, you need to be responsible, no? Kaya dapat kay balo ka sa mga do's and don'ts sa angay ni mo buhaton if your patient is having an epilepsy. Kana siya. And next, we have mo siya, do's and don'ts, no? If your patient is having a epilepsy. So, usa may angay buhaton. So, kinahanglan nimo i-guide imong patient away from the danger, remove harmful objects from nearby, and cushion in their head. So, di mo na kung gaina nga, you need, as a caregiver, you need to be, kana bitaw, responsible enough or to have an initiative nga sa room sa patient dapat walay mga hard object nga makakause noon ng additional injuries sa usa ka person. And also stay with me until I am recovered. So if your patient is having epilepsy, you need to stay with her nga hantod niya maka-recover na siya. Kaya we don't know, di ba, remember, as I said earlier, epilepsy will not attack once, but will attack multiple times. So, in the morning, 8 a.m., naka-epilepsy siya, so there's really high probability nga after 2 hours or 3 hours, epilepsy na po na siya balik. Muna, you really need to monitor the patient's condition. Kana, call an ambulance if the seizures last more than 5 minutes, no? Or you need to call an ambulance if mula pa sa 5 minutes ang seizure sa pasyente. Kaya we don't know if na may matrigger ana nga mo hinuing makakause niya, mamatay ang pasyente. So, kana siya. And aid breathing by gently placing me in the recovery positions once the seizure has finished. So, I know that sa mga humana of first aid here, kay balong man ako usay recovery position. Remember, sa ato ang after doing the CPR, the recovery position, kana siya, ay para, the reason why we need to do the recovery position is para makaginhawa ang patient o tarong, kana siya. So, also, be calmly reassuring. So, you as a person or as a caregiver nga nakakita nga ng epilepsy ang imong patient, you really need to be calm. No, ayaw katarantar ka. If makatarantar ka, if matarantar man yung ka sa kana nga moment, no, nga ng epilepsy ang imong patient, that is one of the big factor nga nung nakakaiba ko sa angay buhaton. No, nagkarakara na ka, you are out of your mind. No, wala na kaibalong nga napataka na di ay kaong kanang tabang sa patient nga mo hinungdan niya ni samot, no, na trigger hinon more ang condition sa imong patient. So it's really important nga kanang in emergency situation, you really need to be calm regardless you caregiver man ka or dili, no. Na it's really important also to educate the family of the patient nga kinahanglan if that person, if iyahang family or one of the family of that patient is having epilepsy, they must educated enough nga kinahanglan sa may anak nga masupation kalma ra jud nga kinahanglan i-apply ang first aid nga angay buhaton. O usama ng mga angay dili buhaton. So, restrain my movements. Put anything in my mouth. Kana siya. Magbutang kaong kanang something sa mouth sa patient. No, as I said earlier, is very no-no nga magbutang kaong kanang any hard object sa mouth sa patient if the patient is having an epilepsy. Move me unless I am in danger. So, kana siya. Dili angay move me unless I am in danger. So, ang ayaw i-move ang patient. Halimbawa, if a patient seizure sa bed. So, okay ra na kung mag-seizure ang patient. Ang one of the dili angay buhaton if ang usa ka patient na ay epilepsy is to i-move nimo sila. Halimbawa, if ang imuhang patient kay seizure siya sa bed, that's fine, that's totally fine. Just make sure lang dili siya mahulog sa bed. If iyahang bed kay kanang na ay rails bitaw, kanang rails, so you can raise that up, no, para dili mahulog ang patient. But if ang imong patient kay naa sa ubos, unya sa ubos pa jud kay naay mga electrical object or anything nga maka-cause more damage to that person, i-move nimo siya. No, i-move nimo siya para dili mo samot or dili maka adong additional injury to the patient. Ay, halimbawa, if na ay mga electrical wire dira kung asa siya ga seizure, no? There's really a probability nga makuryentihan siya. So it's really an initiative na i-move yun mo siya sa safety na place, right? And also, we have to attempt to bring me around. O, to bring me around. Imong idalo ng patient, tarantar na ka, idala ni mo ang patient somewhere. No? No. Imuha lang sa pasakda ng patient. But remember, you need to call an ambulance if more than 5 minutes na. But if malay any object ka nakasurround sa background sa pasyente, kung favor ang patient doing the seizures, then don't do anything. Just make sure na nga walay any hard object nga maka-cause of additional damage to her body. Ano siya. And also, we have give me anything to eat or drink until I am recovered. So, if a patient gani nga ongoing seizure, bawal ni mo siya hatagan ng food or water. Why? Kay, naman yun ang blessing nga matukan ng pasyente. Kaya remember, the knob iyang lawas kung he or she cannot regulate the movements of her body. So, it's a very no-no nga muhat ng ka ng anything to drink or kanang iyang kanon, no? Until I am recovered. If ma-recover na ang patient nga humalay siya og seizures, unyuhuman ni advise ang doctor nga it's okay na for her nga to have to drink water or to nga makakaon na, then go ahead. Pero if ongoing iyang seizures, no, it's a very no nga tagan ni mo siya food. Okay? And then lastly, caregiver intervention. So, usa may mga angay nato nga buhaton, no? If our patient is having epilepsy. So first, education about epilepsy and seizure first aid. So, as a caregiver, we should be knowledgeable about epilepsy management and how to provide immediate assistance during seizure. So, we really need to know the basic information, the basic first aid on what to do if our patient is having an epilepsy. Siya. And emotional support for the person with epilepsy. So, providing empathy, understanding, encouragement can help individuals with epilepsy cope with the challenges they face. So, mag-provide ng empathy, understanding. So, as a caregiver, we really need to have a long patience, a big patience. If our patient having an epilepsy, we need to be understandable to understand their situation, no? And also to encourage them that having an epilepsy is not an hindrance for them sa mga butang nga passionate sila nga buhaton. So, the discrimination should not start by us, but instead, we need to encourage them that despite them having an epilepsy, they can still do whatever the things that they really want to do. As long as aware lang sila sa mga angay buhaton o dili angay buhaton kana. Okay? And then we have the creating a safe environment. So, caregivers should ensure that the home environment is safe and free from potential hazards that could pose our risk during seizure. So, muna ko balik-balik na ina nga kailangan we must be responsible enough to check if our roof sa patient ina by any hard object nga makakause of additional damages to the patients. So we have encouraging adherence to treatment plans. So caregivers play a crucial role in supporting individuals with epilepsy in adhering to medication regimens, dietary restrictions, and other treatment recommendations. So as a caregiver, we need to be responsible enough nga i-encourage yun nato ang patient to take their medicines para po niya, no, at least man lang ma-minimize ang ilahang for them to have seizures. So, ma-minimize ang ilahang pag-seizures and also to yeah. And and advocating for the persons with epilepsy. So caregivers can serve as advocates for individuals with epilepsy, ensuring they receive appropriate medical care, accommodation, support in various settings. So advocating for the person with epilepsy. So for this one, we as a caregivers know we need to serve as a advocate for individual with epilepsy to ensure they receive appropriate medical care. So, it doesn't mean nga kung usa ka pasyente na ay epilepsy na wala na kay care, no? You really need to, one of the advocates nga kailangan if the patient is having a epilepsy condition, they must know what are the proper medical care that they need to know to apply the treatment and all. Ano siya? Kasi angay buhaton, for them to minimize the seizures. Okay, so seeking support from epilepsy organization. Kani siya, connecting with epilepsy support groups or organization can provoke valuable resources, information, and peer support for both caregivers and individuals with epilepsy. So, it's really it's also one of our responsibility to seek support from epilepsy organization. Why? Because having connection to an organization or to be part of the organization of those person na epilepsy, maka-add ang additional information na to and knowledge on what to do. Kay maybe there's really a probability nga na ay nain nga sign and symptoms ang epilepsy aside from the things that you know from your patient. So, at least ba na preventive measures nga, kanihang one of the patient pa lang nga na ay epilepsy na yung aning symptoms. So, if ever maka-encounter ka na sa imong pasyente, so, dili na ka ma-shock nga, okay, it's normal nga na ay aning symptoms because one of the patient po dyan na epilepsy, naka-encounter yung ani, no? And also, for the patient, no, nga katong na ay epilepsy, dili siya maka-feel alone. For her or he to be feel kana bang at ease niya feelings na dili ra siya nakakaroon ng or having an epilepsy but also other people and having that connection, no, they can share what are the angay nga having or connecting or part of the organization can help on niya kana bang maka-share kung mga ideas, vice versa, sa mga angay mo dinibuhaton, okay? And as a caregivers, play a vital role in the management and support of individuals with epilepsy. So, by providing education, emotional support, and practical assistance. So, before I end this report, no, so overall, epilepsy is a complex neurological disorder that requires a comprehensive understanding, management, and support. By recognizing the diverse causes, lainahi nga causes, signs, and symptoms of epilepsy, implementing appropriate diagnostic treatment strategies, and actively engage in ongoing management and support. Individuals with epilepsy can lead to fulfilling lives mission, no? So with the involvement of dedicated caregivers, healthcare providers, and support networks, individuals with epilepsy can navigate the challenges they face and achieve optimal health and well-being. So it means that if ever your patient have epilepsy, it doesn't mean that they can't stop whatever passionate things that they really want to do in their life. They can still live normally as they want to, as long as kaibalo lang sila sa mga angay o dili buhaton. And also, you as a caregiver, you must mas really, responsible pod mga angay dapat o dili angay buhaton if your patient na ay epilepsy. Kay para po no, to help the overall well-being and lifestyle of a patient to have a quality of life. So if you have any questions in regards to epilepsy report, you can just DM or message me. And yeah, and that's it. I hope I hope manami ma-learn and at least ba makaibalo ta sa mga angay nga basic information kay na jud ako chance no nga if ever nga maka-abroad na po ho na yun ay chance nga kanang nata maka-patient daw epilepsy, especially nga kaning epilepsy nga condition is common daghan yun ni even here in the Philippines daghan yung mga person nga na ay mga epilepsy. And the sad part is that not everyone is kana mang na ay basic information nga usay angay nga buhaton. And yeah, and at least man lang no nga we as a caregivers nga nakahibalo na ako sa angay buhaton, then atong i-share sa laing tao kung sa ang dapat nga angay buhaton for them to correct what is wrong.